Okie dokie, y'all. I'm going to get dinner in the crock pot. We are going to try this one sheet pan farmer's market chicken and veggies. We're going to try this in the slow cooker. I have seen Tiffany over at Small Town Life use this a ton as a sheet pan meal because it says one sheet pan meal on it. But I'm going to try it in the slow cooker and see how it does. I have got some potatoes I'm going to cut up. I've got 5 bone-in skin-on chicken thighs. I am going to take the skins off just so the seasoning gets directly on the chicken, but I am going to leave the bones in. I've got 1 onion. I have a few rainbow carrots left and then some regular baby carrots. So I'm just going to kind of mix the two. I wish I had Brussels sprouts, but I have no Brussels sprouts. So I think closer to time to serve, like an hour or so, I will throw in a can of green beans also. So this is just going to be one of those dump and go all-in-one dinners. You have your protein, you have your vegetables all in one. So we're going to give this a try, see how it is. So I got them on, got the veggies in there, got the chicken in there. I went ahead and added a little bit of olive oil and sprinkled the veggies with some of this. It smells so good, y'all, this seasoning. I'm gonna take the skins off. Just gonna season the back side and then dump it over. Or flip it over, then we'll season the top. Okay. Put the lid on it. Let it cook on low for about 5 to 6 hours. Okay, I decided to add in about a cup of chicken broth, just so that the way the veggies don't burn. So I'm just gonna kind of try to add it around it so I don't take that seasoning off the chicken. I feel like it needs a little bit of moisture in there just so, like I said, the veggies don't burn. So I just did a cup of the chicken bouillon. Y'all, it smells so good in here. I'm so excited to try this. Y'all, this was so good. It had amazing flavor. Absolutely love that seasoning packet, and I highly recommend it. Definitely will be using it again. Okay, y'all, we are gonna make some spinach and artichoke dip. This is one of my favorites. Oh my gosh. So between my mom's recipe and my changes, we've adapted it to make one delicious spinach and artichoke dip. So I will have this recipe linked down below for you guys. I am only halving this, but y'all will see the full recipe will be linked. Okay, so I've got a block of cream cheese. I've got a can of artichokes that I've just cut up into smaller pieces, and then I have a can of pimentos. Adding the pimentos in, I feel like really changes the flavor, and it is so good. So I forgot to soften my cream cheese, so we're just gonna try to mix this together the best we can. Add the seasonings, some salt, pepper. Of course, that's to taste. Garlic. onion powder. Some mayonnaise. Some sour cream. This is so good served with pita bread or chips, little pieces of baguette. Oh, it's so good. So I've got some Parmesan cheese. I feel like having the shredded Parmesan for this is also game changer. Try to mix everything up. And then normally for this, I use a bag of frozen spinach, and I thaw it and drain all the liquid off and put it in here. But I have some spinach already in the fridge that needs to be used up. So I'm just gonna dump the rest of this in there. So it's gonna seem like a lot, but it'll cook down once it gets all mixed together. It looks like a lot now, but it will cook down and mix in with the cheese and everything. So I'm gonna take and put this on low, and you just want it to heat through about 2 to 3 hours, and it's gonna be delicious. I'm gonna sit down, have me a big bowl of spinach and artichoke dip with some chips and watch some Netflix. Next up is hot cheesy corn dip. Does that not sound amazing? I found this recipe through a blogger. I'll have the original recipe linked down below, and then I'll add my changes on in the description box. But this, I just had to try. It sounded so good. So I did make a couple changes. Like I said, of course, y'all know I can't follow recipes to a T, but I did get me a new crock pot. I was so excited. I got me a cute little 2-quart crock pot, and this was perfect size for dips. So I knew that this was going to have to be my first one to try. So I've got a block of cream cheese. I added in some bacon. I thought that this recipe needed some sort of like a salty bacony flavor, so I added in probably about a half a cup of bacon bits. And then I added in some Colby Jack cheese. The recipe called for cheddar cheese, but you can't go wrong with Colby Jack. And then the other change that I made, the recipe called for just like random seasonings, and instead I added in a little bit of dry ranch, and I really think it helped just overall, like with the nice ranchy bacon cheesy flavor. I really enjoyed this. And then I used about, I don't know, 3/4 of that bag of frozen corn. I didn't use all of it, and it was pretty corny. I think next time I do this, I would say like 2 blocks of cream cheese for 1 bag of corn. If you're wondering ratio wise, I would say 2 blocks of cream cheese to 1 bag of corn would be perfect. And so I'm just going to put the lid on it and just let it heat through. Dips don't take no time, so I just kept this on low, and it took about 2 hours. It has been going about 2 hours. I just gave it a stir and I tasted it. I added a little bit more ranch. I thought it needed some more ranch. And then I added in some mayonnaise. It's a little thick, so I wanted to kind of thin it out, but then still kind of keep it creamy. So we're gonna add that in, mix it all together. I'll let it sit for another like 30 minutes or so, and we'll give it a taste. This smells so good, y'all. And it was so easy to just throw everything in here and have a good dip. Dips are so easy and great to take to parties, little get-togethers, or just to have randomly throughout the week. Okay, y'all, it's been about 30 minutes. I did the dishes and I kept coming over here and getting a chip and eating it. It is really good. I'm really surprised. I will have this recipe linked down below for you guys for the original recipe that I used, but of course I altered it a little bit. I added in the bacon and the ranch, but I love it. It is so easy. I feel like you could even do like a jar of pimentos or a jar of jalapenos if you wanted some heat. Like, you could totally change this up and fix it to your family's preference. I think next time I will get a jar of pimentos and try in it, because it is so good, and I really think the pimentos would be good. So I'm gonna eat me some for lunch. And that is it, y'all. I really hope you enjoyed these 3 super easy crockpot recipes. Our family definitely enjoyed them. We will be making all these again, and I will see y'all next week for another Crocktober video. Bye, guys.